Hello everybody, welcome back to the House of Cone. This is the Revenator. I am here to talk to you today about something that bothers me. Phrases, concepts, anything like that tend to just really irk me. One of the phrases or concepts that I'm upset about or that bothers me is when you discuss certain things with people and they misuse terms and words. I do it myself, and nobody's protected from it. No, everybody does it. One of the things that bothers me though is like when you say that you are immune to something. I had a discussion one day about with a gal. I take caffeine supplements, pure caffeine. That's all they are, equal to 2 cups of coffee. I discussed one of the people I work with didn't have their coffee, and so I offered the caffeine pills. First of all, you should probably not argue with somebody who has the box with the ingredients on it and tell them that they're wrong when they're reading the ingredients to you. That's really that's just a dumb thing to do, to say the least. So I tell this person that you can have this pill and save yourself 2 cups of coffee. All it is pure caffeine. Then they proceed to tell me that they are immune to caffeine. So I asked this person, well, why do you need the coffee then? Oh, well, because if I don't have my coffee, then I get caffeine headaches. Right there, that's what kind of irks me. The term immune means protected from a disease or the like as by inoculation, or exempt or protected, non-responsive or susceptible. So if you are immune to caffeine, then caffeine will have absolutely no effect on you at all whatsoever. The lack of caffeine doesn't give you headaches, and the dosage of caffeine doesn't make you hyper. That would be the term of immune. The process that you are speaking about is called a physical dependency of caffeine to a certain dose of caffeine. Without it, then you start feeling side effects such as drowsiness, headaches, anything like that. When you take something as a regiment, when you take it religiously every day and then you don't have it, it makes you feel like crap. That is called a dependency. You are tolerant to a certain dose of caffeine. You are dependent on that dose of caffeine. That is why you get headaches. Not because you are immune to caffeine. Not because you are somehow magically not susceptible to the effects of a foreign substance in your body. It is not the way you are built. It is not the way that God blessed you. It is not that. It is the fact that you have drank so much coffee in your life that you now physically need it until you completely purge your system of that dependency. You will constantly need it. That is not the same as being immune. Get a dictionary, read it, study up on it, realize what is what. Now that I'm done doing that, I'm going to just go ahead and sit here and think about, we got this end of the world thing going on here. It upsets me because there are so many different aspects to the end of the world. There's there's the zombie apocalypse, tsunamis, financial collapse, government collapse, alien invaders, anything like that. To each their own theory. I personally, I really care less on what it is. I do study into zombie survival, but do I actually think it's going to happen? Possibilities out there. If it did, it ain't going to happen in my lifetime. But people, they really take this stuff seriously. And what upsets me about it is that some of the people who don't want to talk about the pending apocalypse or pending apocalyptic situation makes me realize that it's not that they don't want to talk about the impending apocalypse. They don't want to talk about your version of the pending apocalypse. They want to talk about their version. As the Revenator, I am a Christian. I am a preacher, and I do study in such aspects. You cannot be a Christian and not believe in the end of the world as we know it. Every Christian has to. It's called End Times, the Book of Revelation. If you haven't read it yet, you're a really bad Christian. You need to read it. They talk about the end of the world. Now, how they talk about how it's going to happen is not exactly to be discussed. It's in prophecies and proverbs and so many cryptic ways that it's really up to interpretation and how it happens. So I picked what I believe is the funnest of the ways that we can think of, and that is the zombie apocalypse. I picked this because even though it is somewhat of a depressing concept, it is also a very fun concept. You know, if a tsunami comes and takes out the world, then really you pretty much see people. And I don't know about you, but I really didn't like Waterworld all that much with Kevin Costner in it. Wasn't really appealing to me. You know, volcanoes and things like that happens. Oh, well, you know, you move from one space to another. Eventually the stuff's got to cool down. Asteroid hitting, well, crap, there's really no way you can, you know, that's pretty much just a hit and miss type thing, no pun intended, you know. I choose the zombie apocalypse. Why? It's practical, you know. It's fun to think about the things that you can and cannot do in the zombie apocalypse, things that you would and would not do, how you would survive, things that you would encounter. I mean, it really brings to perspective a lot of things that are actually serious points, like what is more dangerous in the zombie apocalypse? Is it the undead or is it the living? Think about that for a second. Also, is it even biblically sound that the zombie apocalypse could even happen? This is the most discussion that I have with people, and it is grippingly irritating due to the fact that I am a Christian. I'm licensed as a reverend. I don't really preach to people anymore, but you know, I am a Christian. I am a witness of what I believe in, and I still believe that the zombie apocalypse is very much a very valid possibility of happening. There are different forms of zombies. They all tend to think that it can only happen in one way, with some sort of dark mystical force. And if you're a Christian, that's completely possible by your standards, by your belief. That is completely possible. There have been people raised from the dead biblically all throughout the Bible. Jesus was risen from the dead 3 days after he was buried. Lazarus was risen from the dead. And I do quote, it does say in the Bible, but Lord, he stinketh. Yeah, Lazarus was dead for so long that he started rotting, and they brought him back to life. In the book of Ezekiel, the prophet Ezekiel saw an entire village get the breath of life blown back into them and brought back from bone. You cannot be a Christian and not believe in this. You can't believe, you can, that's zombieism right there. But then they argue that isn't zombies because they don't feed on flesh. Well, then it makes me think you're not really talking about the same thing, that you have two different things going on there. So the point of a zombie is not just something that's been brought back to life from the dead through some sort of force. However, a zombie is a reanimated corpse who is void of all higher forms of thinking and brought down to the basic function levels. That is what I believe in, and that is completely possible. So, if you're going to argue a pending apocalypse, you might want to do a little bit more research than that. Don't argue a point without having a valid reason to argue it. So, this is the Revenator. I've stated some things that irk me, rambled on a little bit, completely random. I hope you guys enjoy it. Have a nice day.